Greetings. Salutations. Konnichiwa. Hola.
Hello.
Hey, so welcome back to the newest episode of the Paden Full Podcast. We are your hosts, JP and Mea. So what we're doing today is a little bit special. We are actually revisiting our very first Paden Full Podcast episode that talks about the very first night JP and Mea met, which just so happens to be 18 years ago tonight. So,
January 15th, 2008, 29. I mean, damn.
2005.
2023, in case people are listening back.
On different days.
But the date was January 15th, 2005.
Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
So, our episode is twofold today. We're going to be listening back. JP wants to see how the episode sounds, of course, because we
were in a closet.
We used to record in the closet. And now we record out in the open. And we're also just going to kind of chime in on some ideas, some thoughts we had based on what we stated in that episode, as well as the night itself.
And the fact check, because Mea be lying.
We're going to fact check a little bit. We'll see. My memory goes in and out, so
damn.
I'm just saying.
Got early onset?
No, maybe. So
that's
what we're going to be
for
doing.
You.
I'm excited to listen back, especially talking about, that night and everything that happened on both sides. That first episode, we talked about it from my point of view and from JP's point of view. And we like talking about things that we may or may not have remembered and things that we hadn't really talked about in the open. We might have some additional things. All
right, man. So we didn't have no theme music now, so I'm going to put on our regular theme music and then go into the episode, because Mea was going to keep talking and this was going to become a whole nother episode. But we're not trying to do that, so y'all have fun. Do I need to mute your mic?
No.
Okay.
Just breathing. Let's go. Hey, how you doing? Are you there?
Oh, you talking to me? I thought you was talking to the people. Go ahead.
Talking to you. Already.
I'm sorry. I'm great. How are you, Mea? I will mute you.
So all right, so you are listening to the Paden Full Podcast, Episode 1. It is Friday, July 9th, 2021. Thank you for giving us a listen. We are newbies at potting, so please bear with any technical challenges that we may experience as we traverse this fun journey. JP is our producer, so he's doing the dual job here.
I gets busy.
He does.
Looking for sponsorships.
Still are. So here we go. So let's just give us a go here.
If anybody calls us, I'm gonna block them from life. I'm cool. It's raining. My phone keep ringing, but nothing. If somebody called during the podcast, it's gonna pop up.
It is raining.
If you call, I'm blocking you from life.
No, I don't even think it's Elsa at this point. I think it's just summer in Georgia.
No, it's still Elsa.
It's still Elsa.
I believe so.
Okay, well.
Fact check.
Oh, well, try to check me, boo. Same here. Sleepy because of the rain, but
you're gonna see a little bit how corny
we are
you
kidless
are.
right now, so we have the luxury of being able to sit and talk like adults, like grown-up people. So that's what we are exploring today. So to introduce ourselves to the people, we are the Padens. We are married with 2 children, 11 years in matrimony.
Shout out to J&J.
16 total together. It's a long time we've been told.
Taking over for the 0405.
We have careers.
Sound effects coming in through now.
And we're often asked, how do we do everything that we do?
I'm sorry, I can't say that no more. Sorry, YouTube.
Opportunity is it's just something to add on to what we do. So we're just going to have fun and kind of see how what kind of impact we may have and see where we go from here. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for listening.
We appreciate you guys. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
There you go.
I think it's going pretty good.
I think so too.
So our episode today is going to start with the grand question that we get a lot: how we met. How did you two meet 16 years ago? So we'll do this sort of back and forth. I will go with my perspective and have JP sort of intervene and give some of his words.
I guarantee you, I said at least 300 times.
And then we'll get it from his perspective. And then we'll continue
I'm going to keep tab and do a total.
You're going to do a count.
Do a total at the end.
Kick it off.
All right. So, how we met. Boy.
Social
this
anxiety.
Is unscripted, y'all. We just going to put it out there. We met at night. It was middle of the night.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Well, I was a junior in college. I was actually starting my second semester of my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them where you went to school.
I was at Spelman College. HBCU. And so my roommate at the time was dating a guy who
you tell your son to quit humming.
Knew some guys who wanted to meet some cute girls. I just so happened to be on the list of cute girls. So, and I was also the designated driver. So we took that drive. It was, I don't know, how long was that drive?
From downtown to Norcross, probably about 35 to 40
minutes. So,
it's
but when you're 20,
minutes.
you know, it's not that long. So our destination was it was a hotel, right? That was retrofitted like a dorm.
Yeah, it was a hotel.
It was
a motel.
It was a
motel, Holiday Inn. Mm-hmm.
But it didn't, you know, we were like, hey, we're going to go out and try to, you know, meet some people. So.
Bad choice.
Anywho.
We're in college.
Oh, my God.
That's what you do in college.
I'm not listening.
We could be like Migos now.
Entered
ad-libs.
the lobby.
Mama!
You know, my roommate met up with her boyfriend, me, and the other girl who came with us. We were then in a room with a whole lot of men, mostly just sitting and staring.
Think Players Club without the rape.
And just, it wasn't uncomfortable, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't grandma's house on Sunday dinner either. What just sort of occurred was the girl who I was hanging with, she kind of just hung out in the hallway on her phone. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there watching ESPN Sports Center. Just kind of just there. And so this guy, young JP sir here, engaged me in conversation. So that's how it started. He told me that he liked, one of the first thing I remember, mind y'all, this is 16 years, was that you liked my scarf, because it was January, so it was cold.
It looked like something your grandma would knit back in the 1800s, so it kind of caught my eye.
He just shaded me.
Oh,
my scarf was cute.
So
it was from Old Navy.
It was wrapped around my neck, and I was like, okay, you know, thanks. All right. My hair, you know, I was a basic, you know, 20-year-old, but I guess he thought I was cute enough to speak to. So we talked. I asked him really random questions, you know, the whole I'm just meeting you, what are you like kind of questions, like how old are you? This dude told me he was 24. And let me give y'all a little, like, just some background on that. I'm 20, you know. I'm freshly 20. I turned 20 in November, and it was January. He was freshly 24. So at the time, my brain was like, oh, nah, he too old for me. That's not going to work out.
And why he's still in college?
Talk to this old man. You know, he told me about why Sports Center came on again, because I noticed that
why
the
it's
TV
cyclical.
show started over from the top. And so he actually explained that to me as to why it was cyclical. So he was already teaching me stuff, y'all. So we just had a conversation at the end of the evening. Once my roommate came out of her reverie and we were getting ready to leave out, he gave me his number. He didn't ask for my number, which was really refreshing, different. It wasn't something that I was used to getting my number. Used to getting my number out. So he was like, "Hey, use it if you want to."
It was refreshing,
and that's kind of how it just worked.
Again, we're talking 2005, y'all. That's a long time ago.
It is.
All right, so let's rewind the story.
Can we talk about your hoops in your ears?
Nervous chuckle. It's not going to be as visual as you put it. Mine is going to be kind of short and to the point because it was kind of a happenstance that it even had that word. So like I said, we were down there for school, which actually turned out to be a complete scam. But I got my wife out of it, so that's neither here nor there for now. So basically, we are from Illinois, about 50 miles south of Chicago. We found the plan to get us down to Atlanta, which was the school. So yeah, we on our way down there, the school put us on a Greyhound bus. And we randomly met some cat from Chicago, so we kind of bonded, and over the course of that 24-hour bus ride, which is a whole other story,
right?
So we kind of rapped with him, and kind of had a familiar face when we got to Georgia. So I guess that he had a girl down here, and she went to Spelman, so. Us being from Chicago and in the dead of winter, and it's 45, 50 degrees down here, that's damn near summertime. So
right. We
were walking from basically almost like Midtown to the AUC. So coming from Norcross. So
how many miles is that? Midtown to AUC.
I don't know. It didn't matter. So we went to Hooters. We was watching the AFC championship game and just kind of enjoying our time down there. Mm-hmm. Guy said that wanted this girl to come out to our room, and she had some other girls. So the other guy said cool. So me personally, it didn't matter to me. Neither here nor there because we just walked half a marathon, so I was really trying to just go home and go to bed.
Yes, that's a long walk.
Yeah, so fast forward up to the room. For some reason, it seemed like everybody just kind of gravitated towards us for some reason. So our room was kind of almost like the kick it spot there. So everybody was there. I honestly really just wanted to go to bed. So the guy's girl came, and I believe there was, how many of it was y'all? It was 3 of y'all?
Yeah, it was another young lady with me.
Okay.
So it was just the two of us.
Yeah, so it was three people. The guy and his girl, they went off to a secret location, and kind of whatever happened there, I won't speculate on that. There was another young lady. She got on her phone and went out into the hallway, and rude. Lo and behold, there's she kind of looked like a school marm.
Oh my God!
Librarian type. Quiet.
That thing. That's
quiet girl with glasses on and curly hair, sitting on the couch alone. And like I said back before, it's kind of like almost like Players Club without the strippers. So me not wanting to have that on my conscience of this girl being harassed by probably about 8 to 9 guys that were in my room, and the other 300 grown men
talk to me. They were just staring
that were in this location. I decided to just try to kill some time and keep her safe. That was my intentions, because wasn't really looking for nothing, because the whole school situation was a temp situation. We were going to be leaving in 2 weeks anyway, so I was like, might as well just kill some time. Started an icebreaker by talking about her scarf and just random stuff. She told me about she wanted to she wanted to own a Borders. Do they still exist?
No, baby.
Damn.
Borders is gone.
I miss Borders.
Okay, glad you changed that. Yeah, and she told me she was an English major, and
I want to write for the newspaper.
Just good conversation. Fast forward towards the end of the night.
20, you know?
Yeah, about 3 a.m. I gave her my number. Like I said, not knowing what was going to come from that. And probably about 45 minutes later, she texts me like the most prolific, wordy text I've ever read in my life, and I was like, what the hell?
I still don't remember that.
She called me an urban youth. But yeah, so basically she invited, I guess I made an impression on her, and she wanted to spend potentially some more time with me. This was Martin Luther King's birthday.
That Monday.
Going into the Martin Luther King holiday, so she invited me to go skating, and we proceeded from there.
We went skating.
Wow.
2005.
I don't remember that text.
What a precious time.
Stop right there. What does that sculpture look like to you?
I saw it this morning because they keep turning it into different angles and showing people, look, this is what it looks like.
Go ahead.
Because I see her hands, right? And then she's holding something. It's a couple different things she could be holding. But they say it's his arm, I think.
It's a picture of them. It's a picture where they're embracing. But
I just saw it for the first time this morning.
I got to get my mind together.
Everybody is having trouble.
From one angle, it looks like, I think a D is being held.
Yeah.
And then the other one, it looks like somebody eating coochie.
We're trying to be we're trying to be respectful. But most people, they don't care. But we are respecting our ancestry and our grand people.
It's too late now. It's in the world, geez.
And then they're like, the sculptor was a black man and we need to respect that. And we're like, but that ain't our fault. That's what he made.
They need to send out some flyers.
That this is what it's supposed to look like, and stop turning the angles.
No, this is the social media age. But
yes,
anyway, we back. Holiday, so she invited me to go skating, and
commercial.
We proceeded from there.
Wow, I don't remember that text. I know when I left, they wanted some Crystal, and we went to Crystal on Northside Drive, and it was the slowest Crystal ever. Like we sat in the drive-through for like 35 minutes, just sitting there.
We did.
And I was getting mad because I was like, well, we just about to leave. And my friend was like, but I want my chili cheese fries. And I was like, but you're not driving. It's 4 a.m. I'm tired. So it probably was just, hey, let me find some happiness and text him since I have his number. And I knew that, nothing was going to happen if I didn't initiate because I had your number. You had no way of contacting me. So that's deep. I don't remember that.
Gentlemen.
Yes, it's very sweet. Y'all take notes. Yeah, it worked. It worked like a charm. Our second little mini topic here for our first episode is how did that night, the night that we met, inform who we are now? Because, of course, lots of time has gone by. Lots of life has happened, right? We've gone through a lot more ups than downs, but we have had downs. We've had times where we've lost family, of course, but we've had, our babies and all these little happier things that have happened. So knowing who we were then and who we are now, how did that night, or I guess I'll rephrase it, how do we think that night that we met lead us to who we are now? Okay. And I'm going to start with you and then we'll do it backward.
Okay. Well, I would honestly say that it just showed me that there was something different. Because at that point, I was kind of a wandering, almost, I'd say a wandering soul, just trying to figure out life. Like I said, I had some personal issues that had happened before me going, life stuff happening before I even came to Georgia, and then just past relationships and stuff, and it just kind of got monotonous with what I was looking for from words the opposite. I don't know, sex, and just it was almost like a breath of fresh air. Like there is something different. Maybe that was just me.
I'm a parameter
that I just kept going into that same box and not trying to expand myself as far as what I was looking for, and even challenging myself to try to do better. It showed me that there was different out there and potentially better, and I just decided to just ride the wave.
That's very beautiful.
Wow. It is.
So for me, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm trying to kind of put it into phrasing that makes sense.
Cuss,
so of course we know that
Shoot.
we didn't expect to find each other the night that we did. In fact, it was way opposite for me. I had just come off of a relationship, or what I thought was a relationship. I was trying to force something onto someone who had already had a prior engagement that he was involved in that I didn't know about until the literal night before I met JP. So
what was the prior engagement? Get into it. Get into it. We're gonna talk about it.
He told me, well, he made sure that he waited 4 or 5 months until after we started talking to let me know that he already had a girlfriend. She was in another state. So that it was like a gut punch because I was spending a lot of time trying to make something work. And
a lot of time.
It didn't. It kind of blew up in my face the night before I met JP. So that's my mindset. I was like, you know what? Bump a relationship. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. I just spent 4 or 5 months with a dude who was withholding information from me for a long time. I'm just going to kind of just freestyle. And so...
AKA, Biggers ain't shh.
So that's... I love how you edited that. So that was my mindset going into that night. So when I started talking to this dude, it didn't occur to me that I might want to start a relationship because, of course, I was anti-relationship at the moment. And so I think for me, looking back at this moment, that night probably really sold me on the idea that there needs to be some type of friendship that must happen before you get into something deeper with somebody. And that's not something that I did in the past. You do when you're in college, we in the AUC is the black mecca of America, right? And so, you serial date. You date somebody, it works, it doesn't work, boom, keep on moving. Serial dating. It was a lot of serial dating. I was sick of it, pretty much from my freshman year. I was sick of it. I was like, I'm tired of dating. So, but it didn't occur to me to try to not date somebody. Just try to be a friend to them first. Be
friends
and I think our period of kind of getting to know each other, it was like a formal process. So you courted me. You used to pay gas for me. You used to
stop it.
Chocolate. And that's not what that's 2021 phrasing. That is not our terminology. That was courting. Okay.
Yes, it was.
MCs all
and
across
so
the
he
globe.
used to, we used to go out to lunch. We used to go out to dinner and we actually have full conversations. So we actually tried to like each other at a friendship level first before trying to pursue being together because we made it exclusive, but it wasn't until I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later.
Damn.
It was the end of January, so the 24th.
9 days.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
That's a week. That's not a week.
That's not.
Y'all know I don't do math.
Bad math.
Yeah, that's bad math, but that's okay. But I mean, in that 9 days, we were able to say, hey, this is
a little more than
something
a week.
that sparkly, right? And it's something that is something that we should pursue.
Yeah.
And so Johnny asked me, he literally asked me, hey, do you want to be exclusive? People don't do that no more, y'all. So
they just assume
that hey, since we humping, we might as well be together, right?
Yeah.
So he actually asked my permission to exclusively date him. And so that was something that has stayed with me after all these years, that consideration and that I could, that he could ask for my permission. I don't want to be a player no more. I took him off the market. I did. And what did I just say? So that friendship and that consideration is something that has remained. I think now we're probably more friends, even more now than we were then, of course, because not only just time, but I know him, deeper, and I like him as a person. And that's something that's important.
Yeah, she my road dog. She hasn't cut me, so I guess I'm cool.
Yes, you are cool.
Can I update them on what happened in the last two years? I got 4 cuts now.
You can't spend. We've spent long car rides together. We've spent time in hotel rooms kind of rained out and having to stay in.
Coronavirus.
If we, hey, there you go. If you can't sit in a room together and, you can't stand to be around each other, hey, it's not going to work out. You got to, kind of work that thing out. And you got to be honest about it. So that's why I think it kind of informed me. And I was young. And JP had to deal with a lot of breaking apart all these preconceived notions that I had as someone who was young and immature. He had to break down all of that. So he had to go through a lot to get to who I am now. So,
and he still likes
me. I think it worked out for the best.
I believe so. I believe so.
So, yeah, man. Anything else we want to tell the people?
No, I think that's good for today. Like I said, we'll see how this does, and if this is something that people are interested in learning about.
Absolutely.
First of all, I do talk.
My husband talks, y'all. I know people see me and I'm the talk, and they ask me, why doesn't he talk? He talks. What to expect coming up?
Only when he has to.
Our focus is on the quote-unquote honeymoon phase, because it's now it would be what we call a antiquated or old kind of term.
Antiquated, what does it mean?
Old, baby, ancient, vintage.
Okay, you can't be doing
Go ahead, synonyms.
I'm going to define words when I say words. Right. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm an English major. So,
Bellman, your ad here.
What expect? So we're going to be talking about what it means to be in a honeymoon phase, if it exists, if it's a myth now, because now relationships are way different with social media. When we got together, we had Black Planet pages and MySpace, and so that was at the very cusp of social media. So now people date on social media. So does that, make the honeymoon phase different? Can your honeymoon phase last a long time, right? So those are some good questions. So that's what we'll be exploring as we're talking together.
Are we still honeymooning?
Got any motivational quotes? Sure.
And involving relationships.
Just period. Just motivate the people.
I don't know if I have any at the moment. I know you may have one.
You a paper chaser. You set the block on fire.
Oh, my goodness.
Rain the G to the moment you expire.
Point to yourself in the mirror and say it. You a paper chaser. Thank you guys for listening.
I say that every morning.
We will be back soon with a new episode.
All right, peace. So, that was the first night by the Paden Full Podcast.
Episode 1.
Word. Greetings, part 2. So, Mea, after hearing that, how are you feeling going into year 18?
Oh, man. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
It's officially adult.
Yeah, we're legal. Our relationship now, what do you do when you're 18? You can vote. Our relationship can vote.
Have the sex.
Yeah, well, many people do that way earlier. So, how do I feel? A lot of what we iterated is still applicable, which is, I don't know. It's so weird talking about our relationship and us as a unit, because from the outside, it's so remarkable to people that you can stay together this long and still like each other. But for us, it's so natural. Like, it's just a way of being. Like, I don't see myself ever doing anything differently. So listening to it, I'm like, wow, that really does sound like a long time. And they really seem like they do like each other. They have a rapport. They laugh a lot. They just, they doing a thing. And then from the inside of this, it's just as easy as breathing for us. Like, it's just, we belong together. It's just one of those things. So it's really kind of cool going back and reviewing or, I guess, reflecting on how weird it was that night to meet and how destined it was, because neither one of us could have been in there. You could have been in somebody else's room totally. I could have been at home. Like, I was not coming out. It was like, I think you said like 45 degrees and dropping, and everybody knows Mea doesn't like the cold. So I was not coming out, and we didn't actually decide to come out until like almost midnight. Like, we weren't going out, and I was like, y'all, I guess we just bored because we don't have class tomorrow. So if I wouldn't have made that decision, I may have never met him, which brings me a lot of like sadness. I get sad on the idea that I may or may not have ever met my soulmate.
Oh.
Like, seriously, I'd be like, ooh, what happened? What would have happened to my life? Where would I have been if I would have never met him? Because there's no other, like, crisscross moment that we would have found ourselves in, except in the moment of, I don't know, him randomly being in Atlanta at Lenox Mall or something, and I would have met him. But even there, it's a whole different context, a whole different, like, what shoulda, coulda, woulda happened, right? So it's so wild, like, thinking about it. So, yeah, man. How do you feel?
I feel strong.
Cool.
This is one more of the more certain things that I have going on right now. So I have a lot of eggs in this basket, and I feel confident about where we're going.
Come on now.
Straight down. No. See, we not.
See, okay, so how he just told me to do it, and I start the music and just fine.
That's
So
some awful music. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say it seems like you're ready. I mean,
move on.
So I'd like the question that we asked in the second part of that episode which was how did that night inform the people we are now? And I think every year we add to, I don't want to call it a repertoire, but we add to the foundation that we built that night. Like, every year we learn something about one another that just adds on to what we've already had. You know, even just, I don't know, something as small as how to parent a little boy. Like, we're still learning about one another through our acts of service to one another. Like, me just figuring out that my husband makes better eggs than me, and I've been scrambling eggs every morning for years.
You still stuck on that?
No, but I mean, he legit makes better eggs than me. I just knew I was like the scrambled egg queen up in here. And then the morning when Daddy makes the best eggs, the kids are like, well, Mommy, Daddy's taste really good, and we don't like yours anymore. So now I am scrambling eggs. He had me thinking that I'm the scrambled egg queen, though. So for years, I've been making eggs the same way. And JP, honestly,
it's about sacrifice. His
eggs are bomb. So I made them for the first time by myself this morning. I'm like, yes, I got the seasoning. Go ahead, me. So, but that's just something tiny. But all the tiny things matter. That it just adds on to what I'm learning about my husband, and what I'm still liking about my husband is that he's still teaching me, even from that night about Sports Center. And didn't I just see this an hour ago? And he's like, well, yeah, it's cyclical. And I'm like, wait, why?
I didn't say that word.
Well, he didn't say that word, but he said, yeah, it comes on again, you know, because it goes in a cycle. I don't know. I don't remember exact. Okay, well, that's 18 years.
Exactly. I didn't say that word. I know that for a fact.
So, but it's the idea.
Does that start with a C or an S?
It is a paraphrase, sir.
Does it start with a C?
A C.
Okay, thank you.
Anywho, so, don't interrupt. So, what I'm saying is just the person that I met that night is still the person I have. And a lot of people can't say that in their relationships because people tend to tweak and adjust and change over time into something else that they think they should be in a relationship. And I think from the top, JP was always very easygoing and very honest about his presentation of himself. And I'm guessing that's probably why I decided to text him and was like, it was great meeting you. You know, he said, he alluded in the episode, I made an impression.
I know
and he
why
did.
The cage bird sings.
You gonna stop that. So
breeze upon my breast.
Eloquent.
I didn't do all of that. Thank you. But clearly I was like, I liked what I was presented, because at that moment we didn't know each other from the man in the moon. So I was presented a package that I thought I would enjoy being around. I'm gonna push you off the seat.
She was presented a package.
Not that package. The person, y'all get him. Anywho, the presentation of the person I enjoyed, and I think it was reciprocated. And so that's how we got here.
She was looking at my jeans.
I didn't. I was
nasty,
not even.
Nasty
I
virgin.
Y'all the night,
nasty virgin.
The night of, it wasn't like, I don't even want to, because it was painful what I had just come off of. So, nope, wasn't doing it. I wasn't looking at your package. Thank you.
Just trying to have revenge.
There were no gray sweatpants on.
Revenge.
You had on black jeans.
Revenge first sex.
No, I wasn't.
You're just going to give it to the first person you met. Take that, Timmy.
Y'all, you talk. I'm not talking
Timmy
no more.
Jennings from...
Y'all, anywho.
Suffolk. Is it Suffolk?
Yes. That's how you pronounce it. Anywho, so that's part of what I reflect on in terms of how that night informed me even now, all these years later. So we pushing 20 now. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't feel like it. It's so wild to me. And it's like, man, I guess this is what they say, quote unquote, our grandparents had that we don't have anymore. That's a whole nother topic as to why relationships don't last like that anymore. We can get into that next time. But yeah. So
cool.
You said your response, you said you was a sucker, but I think it was a great response. I think it's the same one you would have now.
Right. Paden Full Podcast. You can go to our website at padenfullpod.com. There you can find all of our previous episodes, music, and eventually Mea's going to start putting some blog posts up when she gets to it.
I am going to put some up this week. So yes, I already picked out the one I want to put up first.
Okay.
So yes, it's coming. And of course, we still do have our social media. The most active one currently is on Facebook. And JP's TikTok it's pretty funny. So if you want something to laugh at, JP likes TikTok. So yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking forward to at least another 18 with you.
At least. Yeah.
We'll revisit it in June.
What's happening in June?
I'll decide whether or not we want to renew our vows. I'll think about if I want to continue.
He's already said yes to my proposal, so he can't back out now. So we are renewing for year 13 of marriage. It's a good lucky number. So yay. He likes me. He likes me.
All right, so is that it, ma'am?
I think that's it. Thank y'all for listening and revisiting our first episode. We got the most listens from that episode, like historically. So we hope that you enjoy going back with it with us and giving us some ideas and, being motivated. So thanks, y'all.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm feeling you. This much is true. What's there to do? I have no crew. Respect beware. I know you had your share of fake mobsters, hustlers. You know the Fred Astaire's. I wanna take it slow. Maybe catch a show. Lennox Mall. Hey babe, we gotta go. There's a slight delay. There's no need to play. Let's find our way to Chick-fil-A. But should I text her back? What's wrong with that? I